Raw took place tonight in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and this show was coming off the news from yesterday on Sunday that R-Truth was released from WWE. They opted not to renew his contract, and this crowd was clearly not happy about it, as there were multiple "We Want Truth" chants tonight during matches on Raw from this Tulsa crowd. So clearly the sentiment online is not just isolated online. There's plenty of wrestling fans, WWE fans, who are unhappy that R-Truth is no longer with the company. Now, I did a video last night talking about WWE not renewing R-Truth and Carlito's contract. Both are gone. Also, it was announced today by Valhalla, Sarah Logan, I believe on her social media, probably her Instagram, that she is no longer with WWE as they opted not to renew her contract. This is a similar situation with Carmella a couple of months ago when the company didn't renew her contract, and with her, I think it was a situation where she was pregnant and they didn't necessarily have anything planned for her. She was gone for a while, and same thing kind of happened here. Valhalla had a kid and again gone for a while, wasn't with the War Raiders, and they just, I don't know if they see the War Raiders as a team that they're going to push anymore, or it's a situation where they just don't really have a role for her anymore. So they eventually just let Sarah Logan, Valhalla, go. So she is no longer with that company. I believe this is the second time she's been gone. They hired her for a while when they brought her up to Riot Squad with Ruby Riot and Liv Morgan. Then they released her. Then later, I think they released Ruby, and then they brought back Sarah Logan now with Valhalla with War Raiders, and she's married to one of the guys, and it she got pregnant, and they just decided not to renew. So that was noteworthy today. Also worth noting, Stephanie Vecchier, this is in Storyline, she's officially signed her contract with Raw in a segment with Adam Pearce that was not aired on this show, but was aired on WWE social media. I saw the video on X, and they signed her now officially to Raw. This was kind of similar to the thing they did with Roxanne Perez last month when they had her sign with Raw. So it's worth noting that Stephanie Vecchier officially a member of the Raw roster, and she had her debut match tonight. So when the show starts off, and we're in Tulsa, we see Michael Cole on commentary, and he takes off his suit jacket and his button-up shirt to reveal an Indiana Pacers jersey in Oklahoma. He lost a bit with Pat McAfee about the Pacers in the Eastern Finals, who would win. The Pacers won, so Cole now had to wear a tank top on Raw, and he chose to wear a Pacers jersey. And the fans booed because the Indiana Pacers are facing the Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA Championship. I think it's not going to go well for the Pacers. I don't believe so. But WWE really had to remind us of that. So there was also multiple basketball references on this show. And it was to the point where they're going to tell people to watch the finals overall, but CM Punk had to make a comment about this when he made his entrance. And he started the show. He immediately pandered to Oklahoma. And they were in Tulsa, but Oklahoma City states where the Thunder play, so he pandered to them. And he told people to make sure to watch Raw or SmackDown over the finals. Yeah, that's a good thing Punk said that, because WWE just promoted the hell out of the NBA tonight. I mean, they're getting free promotion. He calls out John Cena, says he's a little bitch, and he's talking about winning Money in the Bank again. I don't think he directly referenced the 2011 match. I would have thought that would have been a cool match to do at Money in the Bank this year. Cena against Punk. It'll be the 14-year anniversary since their all-time classic match at Money in the Bank 2011 in Chicago when Punk won the title from Cena, but they didn't go that direction. We might still get a match. I guess they could do it at a SummerSlam. I think they've made events at a SummerSlam once, so you can do that there. But I get the impression it's going to be Cena-Cody, and we might not get Cena-Punk. I mean, I guess they could, just not a title match. And it kind of sucks because I would have liked to have seen a heel Cena against a face Punk, but we're just not going to get that. Sammy interrupts him. He says Punk has to win Money in the Bank to stop Seth from winning. And I'm thinking, all right, Sammy, there's 5 other competitors. Why can't one of the other guys win? Why can't guys have to be Punk? And he says, Punk has to win. And it didn't work out tonight. He says if Punk becomes champion, they will face again. So clearly we're getting Punk and Sammy. Maybe we get that at SummerSlam. I wouldn't mind that match. We get Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez backstage. Roxanne Perez goes up to them and is trying to apologize for what happened. Liv tells Roxanne to stay out of her way. And it was weird because last week Liv was mad at Raquel. Now she's mad at Roxanne. Liv walks down the hallway and sees Io Sky, the Women's World Champion. She tells her that she's coming for her belt. And Io says it's not going to happen. Liv then walks down to the ring. Ivy Nile was out next, and then we go to a video and we see these random pine trees in a California road. It's about Money in the Bank. Yeah, that was a cool visual, I had to say. I wanted to mention that. We get a Stephanie Vaquer hype video. Then she makes her first official entrance as part of the main roster on Raw. Not her first Raw match. She had the match on the night after WrestleMania with Io Sky on Raw. They had a great match. But now this is her first official match as part of the main roster. So we get Liv Morgan, Ivy Nile, Stephanie Vaquer. Women's qualifier match for the Money in the Bank. This is the last and final spot. Whoever wins this gets in. So early in the match, Stephanie does the Devil's Kiss first to Liv. Fans love it. Then she does it again to Ivy, but Liv breaks it up. And that move is so over, and they immediately mention Booker T. And I guess Pat's going to try and do the same thing. Didn't work as much. There was a noticeable, this was the first one tonight, a We Want Truth chant. And this was at the break, so this wasn't during the show, but there was a couple We Want Truth chants. And this was during Ivy had the heat. Now, there's a Tower of Doom spot, and they got a This Is Awesome chant from the crowd. Liv hit Oblivion on Stephanie, and then Ivy threw out Liv. She tried to pin Stephanie, but then Liv broke it up. Liv was then thrown out of the ring, and then it came down to Stephanie and Ivy, and Stephanie hit the SVB. Gets the win, and Stephanie Vaquer is headed to Money in the Bank. She is the 6th and final participant, and I am looking forward to that. I have to say, for Women's Money in the Bank, this is probably the best lineup they've ever had. You get Stephanie Vaquer, you get Julia, you get Roxanne Perez, you get Rhea Ripley, you get Alexa Bliss, and Naomi. So should be a very good match. I think this probably could be the best Women's Money in the Bank match ever. AJ Styles is backstage while Heyman offers a handshake, and he tries to get AJ to focus on the Intercontinental Championship and not focus on the Money in the Bank briefcase to protect Seth Rollins' interests. AJ calls out his threat and says he's not afraid of him. He had Chad Gable out in front of the crowd. He says the Thunder will lose Game 1, and he puts over El Grande Americano and himself as they're both going to have matches this weekend. Gable is facing Vikingo for the AAA Mega Championship, which he'll obviously lose. And then El Grande Americano. We didn't know this yet during the show, but he's going to Money in the Bank. We get a Rusev video promo on Sheamus. Too much of that. We need to see Rusev on TV more. Too many promos. Sheamus talks to Akira Tozawa backstage, who was with Maxine Dupree and Natalia. He's giving him advice. Kathy Kelly interviews... She interviews Sheamus about Rusev. He mocks Rusev for his career imploding, and he mocks his. He didn't say it, but he took a shot at Rusev or Miro's AEW run, which was kind of funny. You had Judgment Day out with the worst theme song of all time. It's Finn and JD teaming up to face the War Raiders, who are doing nothing. I'm sure. I believe Valhalla's married to Eric. Formerly Robe Eric, and I'm sure, he's probably not too happy his wife's contract wasn't renewed, and not too happy with the way him and Ivar's careers are going since losing the tag team titles at WrestleMania. So, New Day was on commentary here, Finn Balor and JD against the, JD McDonough against the War Raiders. There was We Want Truth chants, no one really cared about the match. Roxanne Perez interferes and allows Judgment Day to get the win, and Finn and JD are really happy with Roxanne helping them win. She smiles at them as she wants into Judgment Day. We get a Becky Lynch video promo on Lyra Valkyria. Then we see Lyra walking to the ring just all mad. We got the McAfee minute on the break. He wishes the Thunder good luck, and he says the Pacers will win in 6. I know he's friend with Tyrese Halliburton because I think Pat knows that's probably not going to happen. I think all the odds have the Thunder as like a 7-1 favorite, so it would be probably one of the biggest upsets of all time. I don't see that happening. You had Kathy Kelly interviewing Stephanie Vaquer once Raw came back on the air. And she's talking to Stephanie about her win tonight. And Kathy wearing a very nice dress, I have to say. And Stephanie looks great as always. And speaking of looking great, as Stephanie was answering, we get to see Rhea Ripley. And she walks in and the place erupts. We never get to see Rhea in front of the live crowd, which is a shame because the crowd would love her. Rhea Ripley is super mega over. She's wishing Stephanie Vaquer luck for the match. She offers a handshake, and Stephanie shakes it. We're getting that match. Again, fantasy booking. We don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully we get that. See that match one time at a big show. I wouldn't mind seeing that at WrestleMania one day. Probably not going to be next year, maybe not, but one day in the future I think we'll get to see that big match. That'll be a mega match, by the way. Lyra Valkyria is out, and she's all pissed off at Becky Lynch, who comes out after Lyra calls her out. As Lyra's cutting her promo, she's getting what chants from the crowd, and Becky's just cringe here. She's awful. I mean, this promo isn't working. I don't like how her look is just awkward. She's wearing the baggy pants. It's kind of like she's going back to that stupid big-time Bex gimmick where she kind of would dress like her husband, dressing stupid. I didn't think this would work at all. You know, Becky, when she came back at WrestleMania, she looked great, and she looked, ready. People were mad that she took Bayley's spot, but I mean, Becky, again, she did really well there. Then this new gimmick, I'm not into it. I'm not going to lie. But as Lyra's getting the wet chance, Becky walks away. Lyra wants to fight her. Becky's walking up the ramp. Lyra goes after her and attacks her, but then it gets broken up. I think Becky has to win on Money in the Bank. I think it just makes sense. But Lyra got the better of her tonight. So they showed, I'm just pissed off now. How many fucking times are you going to refer to the NBA? I get it. Tyrese Halliburton is a big WWE fan, as is Derek Brunson. They like WWE. I get it. How many times do you have to fucking refer to it? Stop showing it to me. They're showing highlights of the Knicks and the Pacers. I don't give a fuck anymore. They promote Tyrese Halliburton's merchandise on WWEshop.com. I don't care. They can be fans. Cool. I'm glad they're fans. They want to be at Raw. You can show them. I don't care. I don't need them to be fucking promoted like they're part of the show and we see them every week. Jesus Christ. Just stop it. We get a Penta video on a video promo on Money in the Bank. Then we get Jey Uso and Sami Zayn doing the Yeet entrance together through the crowd. Paul Heyman is out before Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker make their entrances and they head to the ring. We get Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker against Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. So Seth stomped Jey Uso, causing a disqualification. They tease Bronson doing the tsunami onto Sami Zayn, who was put on the announce table. Then CM Punk fights him off with the chair. He makes a save, and then Seth stops Braun Breaker from going back. He tells him, we know where he is tonight, so pretty obvious they would interfere. And I think it was also obvious Jay and Sami would come out on behalf of Punk. So Liv is mad at Finn Balor backstage. You see all the Judgment Day there. Not Roxanne, but Raquel, JD, Finn, and Liv, since Carlito unfortunately is gone. And Liv, I guess now, would you have more? Oh, Dom. Sorry, Dom we saw there as well. Forgot to mention him. I guess if Roxanne joins, we're going to have as many female members as male members, which is weird and kind of interesting. I don't know. Liv is mad at Finn for inviting Roxanne to the clubhouse, and then Liv and Raquel head to the ring together. Dom apologizes to Finn for last week. He says it's water under the bridge. Clearly, I mean, they're going to do a turn. It feels like they've been turning forever because Priest and Rhea left last year. It's like, I don't know. I think Judgment Day's worn out. I feel the same way on SmackDown about the Bloodline. These two have been two great stables. The Bloodline's on a completely different level than the Judgment Day, but really, on SmackDown, Bloodline, on Raw, Judgment Day, they've been two very good stables. They've helped the company a lot last 5 years or so. 5 years for Bloodline. Or Bloodline's done now, but it's still kind of together. Judgment Day now 3 years. It's been a good run for both of them. I think it's time to move on now. Try to create new stables. They've done that already on Raw with Seth's new faction. I feel like the Judgment Day's just played. It's just worn out. It's run its course. We get Kairi Sane against Raquel Rodriguez. Fan chanted for R-Truth during this match, and Kairi really tried to get the fans into the match. So Liv is interfering, and then Io Sky comes out to stop Liv from interfering. She fights off Liv, and then Kairi, I think, drop kicks Raquel's head into the ring post, and then Kairi goes to the top rope, hits the insane elbow drop, and pins Raquel Rodriguez. So Kairi Sane with the win. Glad to see her getting some success. I hope they push her. I'd like to see Kairi and Io. Eventually, when Io loses the belt, I'd like to. I don't want to see them feud. I like that they're aligned together. I wouldn't mind seeing them have this great run as the Sky Pirates. They'd be pretty damn cool. Sami Zayn is getting his shoulder checked on by a doctor who just has a striking resemblance to Samantha Irvin, who we all miss, by the way. People might not like her attitude, but we all miss her ring announcing. She was the best. I miss Samantha. I'm just saying that doctor, she just had a striking resemblance to Samantha Irvin. I thought, whoa. Karrion Kross tries to talk to Sami. He calls him a liar as he's yelling at him, and I don't know what they're going to do with Kross. He wrestled on Main Event, I heard, tonight. We see AJ warming up backstage. We get a Julia video promo on the break, and then we see Kathy Kelly interviewing Roxanne Perez in front of the live crowd. She asks her about what she's doing about the Judgment Day, what her objectives are, basically. Roxanne says she's going to win Money in the Bank. So that was Kathy's interview with Roxanne in front of the live crowd. They don't do that as much anymore. I like that. On the first Raw on Netflix, they did a whole bunch in which they have people who were on the show get interviewed, so international viewers can at least see them, and people in the U.S. on VPNs can see them as well. The announcers preview Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. Then they have a video package for Gunther and Jey Uso next week. Gunther's talking to Jey Uso in the locker room. This is done to promote the match, and Jey is just awful. I don't want to see Jey anymore. Gunther, there's a story kind of with him on social media that he deleted all his posts about wrestling on his Twitter account. I don't know. Hope he isn't mad, but I mean, having to lose to Jey Uso again, that will do that to you. That'll break a man. Having to wrestle that fucking bum. AJ Styles is out next, and El Grande Americano is out to a big pop, and he's from the Gulf of America. That's how they announce him on the break, at least. And then CM Punk is out last, who also gets a big pop. And then we get the men's qualifying Money in the Bank ladder match. CM Punk versus AJ Styles versus El Grande Americano. So fans started chanting for truth during a brief period in the match. And there's always been heat, by the way, between CM Punk and AJ Styles. No one ever referenced that, but I wonder if there still is. And Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed interfere in the match. Sammy and Jey Uso come out to fight them off. And then AJ Styles takes out everyone with a splash onto the outside with the springboard splash, taking out everyone. Punk's on the outside as well after he was attacked. Then Styles goes to finish El Grande Americano with the phenomenal form, but he gets hit with the headbutt. And we never actually saw him do the titanium plate in the mask, but it's implied here he probably did. El Grande hits the headbutt with the plate, pins AJ Styles, and El Grande Americano is headed to Money in the Bank. He's the last participant. They continue to fight, and then Punk comes in the ring, and Sammy, I believe, and they just beat him up. Seth, Braun, and Bronson. Seth hits the curb stomp onto Sammy and Punk. They're both taken out, and then Jay gets taken out bad. He gets hit with the curb stomp, and I think he gets hit with 2 tsunamis to end the show. And I think he also took a spear. So they put a number on Jay right before his tag match at Money in the Bank that no one really cares about. I have to say, I'm looking forward to both ladder matches, and that's the thing with Money in the Bank. It's kind of like the Rumble and the Chamber in a way, because it's about the ladder matches. And if the 2 Money in the Bank matches deliver, to me, it's going to be a good show. But the tag match, I really don't care that much about. Becky and Lara, I'm sure will be good. But this was the go-home show. This is how it ended in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The heels, Seth's group, beating down the baby faces. We get a heel beatdown to end the show. They stand tall as Raw in Tulsa ends. And, of course, this was the go-home show to Money in the Bank, which takes place this Saturday in the Intuit Dome, the same venue that hosted Monday Night Raw this past year on January 6th in Los Angeles. And they will host their first PLE which is Money in the Bank. So hopefully we get a good show. And this was the Go Home Show.